How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. We have an air conditioner here that the cord has been destroyed. I don't know if you ever heard that old saying, the dog ate my homework. Well, the dog ate the cord off the air conditioner. So I figured I'd bring you guys along while we change this air conditioner cord. Somebody gave me this air conditioner because the dog chewed off the cord. It's only about a year old. They used it for 1 year, and we're going to be putting a new cord on it, and I'm going to show you what I got to work with here. Now, we needed a GFCI plug for this air conditioner, and I needed a new cord. Well, we had a cleanup day not long ago, and I started going through the old air conditioners, and I found a cord like this. And we don't want this plug. We just basically want the cord. Now, this cord's a little heavier than what's on the air conditioner as it is right now, but that's not going to hurt nothing using a heavier cord. We just might have a little bit more issue getting that cord into this air conditioner. But as far as the plug goes, I do believe there's different size cords you can put in the plug. I think it has, yeah. So we'll be able to set whatever plug we want, whatever cord we're putting in here. We'll have a little grommet that'll go in there and do that. So let's get everything opened up here. So this is the plug that we're going to use. And this is a GFCI plug. And this is going to be, and the reason why we need this plug on here is because of the moisture. You know, you're in the window. There could be rain coming through the window. The air conditioner gets moisture inside of it. So yeah, you want to get this plug put back on there. Now, can you put this plug on there? Yeah, you could. But is it safe? Probably not. So that's why we're going to cut the cord and put it into this. So let's get started. Let's take a look at this air conditioner. So this is the air conditioner. It is a ARTT. Don't know what it is. But it was free, so we don't really care. So the first thing we're going to do with this air conditioner is we're going to pull the front off of it. But I do want to pull the filter out. Now, this is the filter. If you're running an air conditioner, this filter, at least once a week, you should pull your filter out and clean it. This filter is pretty dirty, so we want to make sure this thing is going to get perfect air. So we want all this cleaned out. So that's something we're going to have to do. So we have a couple screws that we need to take off. There's one on the bottom here and one on the bottom on the other side. We're going to go ahead and pull these screws out because I want to see what how dirty the inside of it is. Just check it out. 2 little screws. Just remove them. Now you should be able to pull the front off of this thing by pulling it straight out like so, and then kind of tilt it up. So we're going to be cleaning all this out and making sure this guy looks like new when we're finished with it. So now if you noticed, this had a pretty dirty filter. So that's what happens is this thing gets plugged up, and then a lot of that goes around it. It's trying to suck it in from every angle. And now this radiator is dirty, so we want to clean this radiator really good. And we're going to use a brush. And then we'll take some air pressure and we'll clean it out with some good air pressure also. Just try to get all that dust off there that we possibly can. So we're not going to mess with too much of that right now. We're going to have to pull the rest of this off of here because we got to get down into here where this cord is. I think what we can do is we can pull these guys all the way out and then slide them up. Now we got that side off. We'll do the same thing on this side. We're going to pull it all the way out and then slide it up. And then we got some screws around the sides we're going to have to take out. We have 2 screws right here, 2 on the other side. Looks like 1 on the top. Let's go ahead and pull these guys out. Don't lose your screws, guys. Get you one of them little holders and throw all your screws in it so we don't lose them. Looks like 1 right here in the top. Then we have a couple here on the sides. Let's see. Looks like this one here also is going to have to be taken out. Alright, we're going to have to pull these three across the top, it looks like also. Another piece will clean. Now our cover this thing should come off. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to have some more screws here in the back. We're going to have to pull these 4 screws here in the back also. So there's quite a few screws you have to take out on this thing. The nice thing is all them screws are identically the same besides 2 of them. The 2 was in that front piece of plastic. Alright, let's see if we can just pull this guy up off. Set it off to the side here. Now that we got the cover off the top, we're going to be pulling this panel here off. And this is where our electricity is going to be in the back of here. Just getting to that cord, that's all we're doing. We're just trying to get to the cord. That's a different screw there. But we'll know, there's not too many different ones on this thing. So now we're into where our cord is. We're just going to figure out what ones go where. Looks like a pretty simple setup here. Okay, so right here in the front, you can see this here. We're going to pull this off because we need to get this cord out of there. So we're going to go ahead and take our Phillips screwdriver. We're going to pull this little clamp off of here. Okay, so we'll just put the clamp with those 2 screws off to the side. And right here in the front under this little piece of rubber, there is our ground screw. We're going to pull it out. Pull that little screw out. Now we're going to just put that screw back in there. We're getting several different type screws and I don't want to get them mixed up. Especially this one here. If it's too long, it's going to go into our radiator and we don't want that. So we can pull this wire, which this is our ground. We can pull this wire back through this hole over here. Get it out of there. Go find it. Okay. So now we got that out of there. We have a white wire. We have a black wire that's going to our plug right here, and it's up in the top, on the top of this. So we'll go ahead and pull this black wire off. This is going a little bit tight in there, actually. So now we got our black wire off. That is our hot wire. Pull it down through. Now the only one we have left is a neutral wire. Let's get up here so we can see a little better. It's going in the back on this guy right here. So we're going to pull this thing. I think we could just pull this out. It'll make it easier for us to see it where the wire's going in. Get our little screw out of there. That one right there. Set him right there. We should be able to pull this thing out of here. Now our white wire is right here. So we're going to go ahead and pull that one out. You can see it's right there's the red, the white. We're going to take that white one out of there. So now we have all of our wires out from our plug. That's what we wanted to do, right there. So now this is the old plug. Now I could do one of two things with this. I could keep the same connectors, and we can solder these to the new cord and shrink wrap them, because I don't think I have any of these connectors identical to them with the nice covers on them. So we're going to just go ahead and cut these and solder them on the new cord. So we're going to take one end of our cord and we're going to strip this off about, I think, about 5 or 6 inches, I think will be good. Be careful you don't cut all the way through. Just bend it and it'll break. Now we'll just pull this guy out of here. So now what we got here is we have our green, our white, and our black. Now we have our white and our black that we're going to solder back on. I do have a tip for this one. We'll be fine with it. So we're going to go ahead and snip these off a little shorter, just a little bit, because we're keeping some of the other cord. And then we're going to reattach these to them. So we got these two stripped down. We're going to do the same thing with these guys. Strip them down. Then we're going to get set up so we can solder these. Okay, we got our little wire set up in our jig so we can solder these guys together. I got my 1920s soldering gun, which is the best thing I think I ever purchased. This thing for soldering is actually really awesome. Okay, once we got that soldered on, you can see right here I put a piece of shrink wrap on here. We'll put that down over top of there and we'll shrink wrap that, and that one will be finished. Just watch, this guy's still a little bit warm, I guarantee you. So now we got our shrink wrap pulled over top of there. We're going to go ahead and heat it up. Make sure it's good and tight on there. It's not going to come off. That's pretty nice there. Nice and sealed up. Nothing's going to get to it. Now all we got to do is our black one the same way. Alright, I think we got a good solder job on that one. So all we got to do is pull our shrink wrap back down on that one and tidy it up. It should be good. I'd let them cool just a little bit because that shrink wrap gets up around that heat. It wants to shrink wrap before you're ready for shrink wrap. So we'll go ahead and slide it up. It should be cool enough. Put it right over top of that. Make sure you get all this wire covered up. You don't want none of that wire to be exposed. Alright, we're good to go. We have our wires on there. The only one we got left to put on is this one right here. And I can't do it until I get it through the side of that case. So let's get this cleaned up and get on with the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and take my wires and slide them back up underneath this front where we started. Slide them up through that hole in the front right here. Slide them up through here. We gotta get all these through here. We're gonna pull a little bit out, just a little bit. And then we're gonna put our clamp on down here. That way, I think we got enough for everything here. Let me make sure we got this green one long enough to go through that side over there. It's not very easy to see that. They don't leave you no room to see anything here. Alright, so we're going to put our white one back down on there, right beside that red one. And we're going to go ahead and get our black one over this way. Now, if you think you're going to have trouble remembering where all them wires go to, and take some pictures. Don't be afraid to take pictures. There's nothing wrong with taking pictures. That's the best thing to do if you think you're going to forget where those wires go. Just take pictures. That's the best. So a lot of times when I'm doing this kind of stuff and I'm messing with it and I can't remember where some wire goes or a screw goes, I just go back on my camera and look it up. Now we're going to plug our black one in. It goes up on the top of this box right here. Now, the only reason I'm not giving you really up close pictures of all where these wires go, because mine might be different than yours. But just to go to show you that you can do this. I mean, you can pull this guy apart and put that thing back in there with no problem at all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my, in the front here where we had taken that clamp off, we're going to put our clamp back on here. I'm going to get something to set this thing on. Get us something up underneath here to hold that air conditioner out while we put our clamp back on here. We'll go ahead and tighten this guy up. Hopefully everything works, because this is a much bigger cord than we had on the last. The last cord was kind of small. This cord here is a heavy duty cord. It should be a lot better cord than what was even on this air conditioner to begin with. So now we've successfully put the cord on the inside. All we got to do is go ahead and get it all tidied back up here. Get the covers on it. Go ahead and put your screw back in your cover. And we're done inside of there. The only one we have left to do is our ground. And it's in the front right here. Remember that ground went right down on that bolt right there? So we're going to get a connector and put on here and get it put on the front there. Okay, I just got a little connector we're going to put on here. And this is going to be so it'll be able to screw onto that bolt down there. We're just going to give it a good old crimp. So now that's nice and tight. We'll pull that little foam piece down and go ahead and put our wire on here, get our ground set up. Get your ground all snugged up in there. Like so. Put that little piece of tape back over the top of it. And man, we're good. We got us a plug on there. That was putting the plug on the inside. Now, it's a little bit of work to get that plug in there. But it'll show you, give you an idea what you're going to have to do to get a new cord, a whole new cord, into your air conditioner. Now we're going to work on this piece here. Now we could plug this into the wall. This air conditioner is going to work. It's going to work just fine. But to be safe, we're going to go ahead and wire this guy up to make sure we don't have any issues. Okay, I have our plug all unbolted here and ready to go. And this is our old cord. And as you can notice, there's a big difference in this side and that size. This is the old one that the dog chewed up. You can see the teeth mark all through it. That's why I didn't want to use it. You don't know what's broke underneath that plastic. But it's much, much smaller. If we was going to put this little rubber grommet on there, it'd be that small one. But one nice thing about this plug is it comes with different size rubber grommets here. And you can put the big one on here now and slide that down on. And then we'll go ahead and strip this off and put it in there. Now, if you notice inside your plug, this is a simple plug. The gold screw is going to be your black. The green screw is going to be your green. And the silver screw is going to be your white. Pretty simple, easy setup. So we're going to go ahead and strip these off. It don't look like you're going to be stripping very much, that's for sure. So we're just going to take about an inch, maybe an inch and an eighth. We're going to get this guy stripped off. Don't cut all the way through that wire. You don't want to cut all the way through because you're going to cut into your good wires, then break it down across. And that's exactly what I did. So we're going to try this again. A little bit easier. Just score that around there. Just like so. And then bend it. Hopefully we can get this guy to come off without cutting our wires. Alright. I think we did pretty good that time. We didn't cut our wires. Okay, now we're just going to have to trim these up the length that we need them. And we can actually leave them a little bit longer this time. Just a little bit. I think we can get them in there like that. Yeah, I think that'll work. So we'll go ahead and strip these all off. But we only want a little bit of them. About a 1/4 inch. And we'll twist these guys. Get them nice and tight. We'll start with our black one first. Get it down in there. And then we're going to tighten it up. Get your black one right in there and get it tightened up. Then we're going to do our green one. Make sure you have enough slack in there. You can always unloosen these a little bit to give you a little more slack. Stick our green one in. Get our go ahead and tighten that green one up. Right there, that green one. Get it, got the wire in there. Get it tightened up. Now all we got left is the white one. We're going to loosen that up a little bit in there. So we got room in there. Get this guy up inside there. It can be a little tight in there. I guess tighter the better. Okay, now that we have our wires all tightened up in there, we're going to move this guy up a little bit because we got to get that grommet up in here. And it's going to sit right in there like so. And then they give you this brace to put on this, and hopefully ours will reach. We'll see. Looks like it might reach. I get the right screwdriver. And we'll do one on this side. Our main thing is to make sure these wires do not come out of there. Okay, I think we have successfully put our end on. All we have to do now is stick our cover on here. And this is a waterproof cover too. It has a rubber ring inside there. So we get this on, and guess what? We got a cord for the air conditioner. Alright, we have our plug on and ready to go. All we got to do now is get over there and get this air conditioner cleaned up like it should be and get it back in working again. This is cool. Free air conditioner. All I do is buy that plug right there. So what I'm doing now is just wiping out the inside of this, trying to get all the dust and anything I can get out of there, get it out right now while it's opened up. So it should be like a new one when we get done, hopefully. And there's a lot of garbage down in here. You'd be surprised how dirty the inside of an air conditioner will get. A lot of moisture that lays down in there, and we're going to be using some Clorox cleanup, some bleach, clean that down in there real good. Make sure it don't get moldy. Now, as I'm cleaning this air conditioner, I don't want to pull absolutely everything out of the inside of it. But I've noticed down in the bottom there's a lot of rust, and they said this air conditioner is only 1 year old. And I know years ago when you get these air conditioners, there was a little hole in the back here, and that would drain the water that was laying in the back of it. Now, I'm not sure if you're supposed to do this or not, but I'm going to drill a small hole back here so that water can come out of this thing. Because with that water in there, all the stuff in the bottom here is just going to rot. And it's going to go bad. After 1 year, I'm seeing rust already. So, yeah, we're drilling a hole. Nice little hole in that corner. Everything in the bottom there should drain right out. I think that's going to save the life of this air conditioner by having a little hole down in here. Now just make sure if you're going to drill one, you don't touch these little guys here. I think if you get a hole down in the corner of that and all that water in there, instead of letting it rust the whole bottom out of this thing, drain out the bottom, I think it's going to work a lot better. So we're pretty much done cleaning this guy out. We went over the whole inside of it really well, blew it out with the air gun, and I used some Clorox cleanup. This stuff smells good and it does clean good. You spraying it back in the back, you don't have to worry about getting every bit of it wiped out. Just get what you can reach. And we did clean our fan blades back in there in the back, and I tried this the squirrel cage down in here. I tried to get it as clean as I could too. So I think we're in a whole lot better shape than what we were, and I think we're ready to start putting this guy back together. I think this thing's going to run like new. Okay, the only thing left I got to put in this thing is the filter, and as you can see, we cleaned it. Looks like new. We're just going to slide it back in, and then we'll clean this filter at least, you know, once every week or something. You want to try to keep that filter as clean as you can, because guess what? I don't care how clean your house is, you still got dust in it. There is still dust in your house. I don't care. You're going to have it. It's just from people walking, you'll have dust. Now this air conditioner looks like brand spanking new. I think this is going to be a good little air conditioner. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in, because we can plug it in and try it to make sure that this cord's going to work. And I'm not real crazy about having the black plug, but it'll work. So we'll go ahead and plug it in. Make sure we have test it, and that tester is working. So we should have air conditioner here. Fan's working fine. Now I'm going to turn it on low cool. So now the compressor should kick on. And the compressor did kick on. You seen it actually dim my lights just a little bit. And yes, it is. I can hear the pump running. And the air is blowing nice and cold. So I don't think we're going to have any issues with this thing. We'll turn it on high. That's high fan. Turn on air condition high. Oh yeah. You see the pump kicked on. For sure. So really, the only thing we really need to do is change the cord out, because the dog ate the cord. I'm just glad that the dog didn't eat it while it was plugged in, because probably wouldn't have had a dog anymore. It's not a good thing for them to be chewing on cords. Now we did upsize the cord a little bit, so we got a little bit heavier cord on this machine. Not going to hurt it a bit. A little bit of work to putting the cord on. As you've seen, we had to do some soldering. We had to do a little bit other stuff. But if you're going to have a cord put onto your machine, that's about the kind of work that person's going to have to do to get that cord on there for you. And would I throw this away because it didn't have a cord? No. I would put a cord on it. Even if I had to pay somebody to put a cord on it, it's cheaper for me to pay somebody to put the cord on than it is to buy the air conditioner. So while you got it apart, you might as well clean it out. Now, a big thing is keep these filters clean. That filter has a lot to do with how good your machine blows cold air. As long as it's clean, this machine's going to work for a long time, and it's going to blow good cold air. Now, I did drill a hole in the back of it to drain that water out of there. When I was in there, and I seen a lot of rust. I mean, not crazy about having that rust in the bottom of there, and this thing only being a year old shouldn't have rust down in there. So we drilled a little hole in the back corner of it, and we'll let it drain outside. It would be better if it just drains out there than it is laying in there rotting out the bottom of my air conditioner. So I hope this video helps somebody out there. It is a little bit of work. Keep your screws separated. Keep them organized. Take pictures. That's a big thing. Like if you're doing the wiring and stuff, get your phone up there. And everybody's got a cell phone today. Take some pictures or a little video clip of where the wires go, so you don't forget. You don't want to forget where the wires go. Just snap a picture. And you should be fine putting this on. I mean, I didn't have any issues with it. It took a little bit of time, but I also cleaned it. I'll leave a link in the description down below for one of them GFCI boxes. If you need one, that'll give you an idea what they cost. I'll leave a link. Just click on it. You can at least see what they cost to purchase one to put on your air conditioner if the dog eats yours. So I would like to tell everyone, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.